Welcome to The Aggregate, narrative coatings from around the globe. It's a show that salutes the close-knit community of architects, designers, builders, and artists from our world who refuse to ration their plaster passion. Amidst a world of click-and-stick emotions, the show celebrates the spoken word and forces us to listen, process, and grow. With an open and limber mind, these subtle connective moments will provide respite to recharge with an emphasis on shared techniques and knowledge while simultaneously fueling our fires for continued creativity on and off the job site. So take a deep breath as New Age Artisans continues to coat the planet and change the paradigm of what it means to educate, empower, and create. Greetings, I'm your host Jeremy Mistretta, along with my man on the boards, Vincent Ryan, and welcome to the show. Greetings all, welcome to the show. We're thrilled to have an awesome guest here today in our studio, Miss Rebecca Gilling from across the pond. Before we get too far down the line, let's get one thing straight. Rebecca is your proper and professional name, but your friends call you Becky. I know this is correct because you've reminded me that several times since you've been here. Tell us about your stay here, Becky.
So I'm currently on a research trip, and this part I am helping out the New Age Artisans crew here in Montana. We have been doing some pretty big ceilings in the last few days, so disclaimer, I'm feeling a little bit tired. I'm definitely feeling the ceilings, so yeah, I'll do my best with the interview, but see how it goes. But yeah, feeling super excited to be here and super blessed to be here. So yeah, thanks for having me.
Yeah, well, it's fun to have a little culture in the room. So thanks for being here. You have a pretty fun story of how you started in the trades, and I think it's going to inspire quite a few folks. We're really happy to have you on the show. You really did not start off as a plasterer, as I understand.
Mm-mm.
You were a prop maker?
I was a prop set and puppet maker for a few years. Before that, I was doing architectural model making straight out of uni for a bit. University, college, as you guys might call it.
Got it.
Yeah.
Where are you from exactly before you went to college?
I grew up in a little town called Kenilworth, which has a very large ruined castle, which probably impacted my love of historic buildings. And that's in Warwickshire in the Midlands, in the middle of the UK, in the middle of England at least, but now I'm based in Devon, in the south.
Where was uni in relation to those
Uni
places?
was Bournemouth, which is on the south coast. So it was nice. Beaches. Yeah.
Got it. Southeast or southwest?
South. Just south.
Just south.
Yeah, straight up south.
Okay, because I know where London is. And I know that there are some things south of London to the southwest of London.
Slightly southwest of London, yeah.
Got it. Okay.
Not as southwest as Devon, though. Yeah.
What were some of your early passions growing up?
Early passions growing up. I've always been quite obsessed with drawing, and as a child I loved making dens in the woods near my house. So yeah, I guess you could say I was building things from an early age. I used to be given blocks of wood and a hammer and nails to play with by my dad while he was pootling around in the garage. Yeah.
Awesome. And when you were at the university and you were doing some prop making and you were doing some clay modeling, what kind of prompted you to do a little bit of a pause there?
A pause?
Well, maybe not a pause, but what prompted you? Because, some folks, they're in university or they're, have a direction that they go after. What prompted you to kind of make this hard left-hand turn into the world of plaster?
Oh, okay. There's quite a big like. There's probably 10 years between university and that. But do you want me to nutshell it? I'll try and nutshell it so we're not here all night. But yeah. So yeah, I studied model making at uni, which was an amazing course. If anyone's into making, then like I really recommend it. This course at Bournemouth, it was really amazing. It involves sculpture with clay, metalwork, wood, fiberglass, resins, moulding and casting, like everything. It's a really all-encompassing course. And after that, I worked as an architectural model maker for a little bit for a wind tunnel testing company at the National Physical Laboratory, which was a very official sounding job, but was actually, I found it a bit boring, and making tiny things was mind-numbing. And then I went into puppet and prop making.
Ooh.
through my love for festivals and making festival artwork and large-scale installations. There, I was kind of like, oh my god, this is amazing, how do I make this my job? And then scored a job at an events company managing all of their set and prop production and making giant puppets for some of their touring shows. And I did that for a few years and really, really loved it. But then I was getting quite headachy and quite ill from some of the toxic glues that I was using on a daily basis, and I was getting a bit disheartened by putting a lot of love and a lot of energy into these big foam puppets that were then being used in club nights, and when I kind of stopped, I was quite into partying when I first got the job, and then I kind of became a bit more wholesome. And was like, oh, why am I putting all this energy into like parties, and my work's not getting appreciated in the way that I'd like it to, and things are getting thrown away and not lasting that long. And so yeah, I did a yoga teacher training in Bristol, and it was a year long. And when I finished that, I was like, cool, I'm gonna move to Central America and be a yoga teacher in a community. And it was like
Different sort of festival.
Yeah, different sort of vibe. And it was a bit of a young, like, naive move, being like, oh, I'm gonna do this completely different thing that I've got no experience in, really. Like, I've done one training. It's like a classic do one training and be like, I'm a this now. And
today I'm a yoga teacher. How old were you when you did that? Because I think from my experience, I'm 43 years old. I still make some kind of minorly hasty decisions, and it doesn't seem like that out of the blue for someone to do that.
I was, let me think,
20s?
I don't know, 27? No, that's only a few years ago. 25?
25?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. It was a few years ago, but yeah, I wasn't like super young.
Yeah.
But,
and how long did you stay in South America for?
I was there for almost a year, but I was teaching yoga at this community in Nicaragua. Shout out to Gaia and Anita, because she heavily influenced my life. This is kind of where it all began, my plastering journey. I'd been teaching yoga for a couple of months on this island of Ometepe, this island of two volcanoes, which is a very beautiful place. If you ever get a chance to go, do it. And I'd been teaching yoga, and it was quite tiring, like getting up and holding space for a big group of people at 7 a.m. every morning. Like, I quite quickly was like, oh, this is not my thing. And Guy was like, oh, we're building a new structure, this big reciprocal roof roundhouse. It was wattle and daub with bamboo and cob. And she was like, oh, do you want to sculpt a giant phoenix on it? You do sculpting, right? And I was like, yeah, okay, that sounds fun. I've never worked with cob before, but yeah. And I did that. It's like maybe 10 meters wide by 3 meters high, this huge phoenix. And working with the materials for the first time, and clay plaster, I was like, oh my God, what is this? How do I do more of this? I want to do more of this. And then spent the rest of my time in Central America just beginning to experiment, really, in some other places as I went, until I came home.
Until you came home. And did you came home with the intention of being a plasterer?
No, I came home and I moved to Bristol, and I wasn't sure, moved back to Bristol where I'd been living before, and I wasn't really sure what direction to go in. Went to help out an organic farm for a bit, and I was driving back from Dartmoor, and I was actually listening to Jeffrey, the Natural Builders podcast, and it was interviewing trainee natural builders, and they all were talking about this thing called the Building Craft Programme, and how great it was, and how it was their route into natural building or into plastering. And I was like, oh, this sounds cool. I might research that. And I looked into it, and I was like, oh my God, I need to apply. Yeah.
And what was the application process like to get involved into something like that?
Well, it was quite... I don't really know still how I got a place, because on the website it said it was for people who are already working in the construction industry. And I was like, I'm a puppet maker, and I've done some natural building overseas, but hadn't done any construction work or worked on a building site in the UK ever. When I applied, but I applied anyway. And the application process, I can't really remember what it was. I filled in a form, wrote some words, sent some pictures of my work, I think, and then there was an interview, which was actually a really lovely interview. I've had interviews for other things, and it's been pretty nerve-wracking, but I remember this one being a particularly friendly one. So that was
fun.
Nice. Yeah.
Yeah. Now, the Building Craft program, is that affiliated with the Prince of Wales Foundation as well?
It is run by an organisation called the Prince's Foundation.
The Prince's Foundation, yes, exactly. Tell us a little bit about the Prince's Foundation.
The Prince's Foundation runs a number of programmes, some of which are the Building Crafts programme, the Building Arts programme, and they also run the School of Traditional Arts. I did the Building Craft programme, which is absolutely amazing. I can't sing its praises enough. I kind of can't believe that it exists, because it's fully funded. And when I did it, we actually had our food for half of the time and our accommodation for all of the time provided as well. And the first 4 months was up on an estate in Scotland at Dumfries House. And me and 11 other students did a live build project where we created a whole building from scratch. And one of the amazing things about it is the range of students. So there was me, another plasterer, some timber framers, some stonemasons, some bricklayers, and a metal worker. So it provided a really good opportunity for the different trades to communicate and work together and learn about each other's trades, which I think is quite good prep for working on site.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You can tell very quickly, on at least the job sites here, if someone is well aware of the daily ebbs and flows of a job site. And I feel like if you are knowledgeable, you should be willing to have a round understanding of the job site, and you should know a large degree about what the other trades are doing. So that sounds great that they were doing that.
Yeah, definitely. And like the cultivating that respect for each other as well, and that respect between the trades, rather than having this kind of air of self-importance, being like, we're all here creating this thing together, like that's cool. So yeah, it was four months of doing a live build project, and then the other 4 months we kind of separated off and went to do work placements with master crafts people around the country. And I was quite lucky. I actually did, I think, 5 or 6 work placements. Some people did 1 or 2, but I really pushed to do more, because I wasn't that sure about my path or exactly where I wanted to go in the decorative plasterwork world. So yeah, I did quite a few, and the first one I went to, which was definitely my favourite, was with a man called Philip Geishes, who I know you know. He's actually the link between us.
He is, yeah, amazing, amazing person on and off the job site. First time I met him was in southern France, Les Mas d'Azil. He put on a lime plaster workshop, and the man had me at hello. Just absolutely one of the most kind people I've ever met. What sort of projects did you work on with Phil?
Ooh, so the first stint that I did with him, I did 2 work placements with him, and the first one I spent a week working on this castle in the Cotswolds, and we were creating a new Elizabethan ceiling in this castle with hand-modelled naughty gargoyles, which were quite interesting because they were in a man's office where, from where he was sitting, the gargoyles were all very, very rude, and where the person who walked into the office was standing, the gargoyles were slightly tamer, but still a bit naughty.
So a different front and a different back?
Yeah, so like depending on where you were standing in the room, the gargoyles that were facing you were either a bit rude and playful or very naughty.
Naughty. Were they movable gargoyles? Could he just move them around based on his mood?
No. They're fully limed into the ceiling, fully installed.
Stuck.
But I got to hand model some gargoyles. I got to hand run some cornice and do some comb work. It was super, super cool. I didn't want to leave, to be honest. I was quite sad when I had to move on to my next placement because...
Yeah, no one wants to leave when everybody wants to stay around Phil. I mean, Phil's met my entire family, my beautiful wife, my kids, and everybody loves him to death.
He's an amazing man. I'm so grateful for Phil. The opportunities that he has sent my way since I've finished on the Building Craft program are just amazing. Like he invited me to give demos of sculpting at a couple of conferences, and he introduced me and you, and I wouldn't be here in Montana if it wasn't for Philip. So I'm super, super grateful for his support, and he's just a lovely man and so knowledgeable, and his support of the kind of built environment heritage side of things, and his support of plasterwork and British craftsmanship and also young people is just really, really admirable. So shout out to Phil. Thanks, Phil.
The way that his knowledge trickles down to his sons, Will and Jude, the way that his great wife, Nikki, fosters the knowledge and shares in the family's success with some back-end stuff on the business. Just the way the whole family operates as a unit is quite impressive. And then they encourage advancement too. It's not like they're the top of the pyramid. They want everyone to succeed and blast off into the universe. So he really pushed you to go do some other courses with some other people that are masters in their field as well, as far as I understand, right? Who else did you talk to in the world of plaster?
After the Building Craft program, I kind of, since then, still am a bit of a course junkie in the way that I just want to learn as much as I can. I did a course with Siggy Coco in Tadlact and clay plaster, and that was amazing. She came over from the US to the UK to lead these courses, invited by my friend and other mentor from the Building Crafts program, Will Stanix. It was really amazing to meet her. And another person invited by Will Stanix was James Henderson, who I'm actually going to be going out to visit next week in Washington. He runs a natural home building company called Northwest Natural Homes, and also runs a clay plaster manufacturing business and does clay plastering. So I'm super excited to work with him. on my research trip.
Awesome. Was there anybody else of utmost importance?
Yeah, David Cranswick, Dr. David Cranswick is an amazing man who, he actually teaches at the School of Traditional Arts, one of the other Prince's Foundation projects, and his focus is on the traditional creation of art. So he teaches pigment processing and traditional painting and lots of other things. This man's amazing. It's like he's stepped out of the Renaissance or something. He's this, I don't know how else to describe him, except, he's like some medieval alchemist man. And I did a course with him called The Alchemy of Colour, which was mind-blowing. It was a proper journey where we learned how to process pigments, raw pigments into paint, and learn about symbolism of colour and lots of history of colour.
Wow. Is he still offering these classes?
He is. You should go. I was talking to Gabe about it last night, and I was like, I think this is your homework.
Gabe Franklin, if you're listening. Road trip. Well, we need an airplane, so we'll get on roads later once we get there. That sounds amazing. So after you took all these fantastic classes with these masters, how long did it take for you to get your first actual job?
First paid job or first job?
Well, a job is however you perceive it as far as I'm concerned. Even though you don't get paid, we've got a gal here named Kelsey that says, it's not legal tender, but it has value. And I think about that all the time. She's very, very true. Very true in her statement.
Yeah, well, I didn't do very much for quite a few months. I think the Building Craft program was such an intense experience that I needed a bit of time to kind of rest and process it afterwards and continue to learn. And it wasn't until maybe almost a year later, it was actually this February, I was invited by some friends in Wales to create a relief sculpture of a big tree on one of the walls in their cottage, and I did it for free because I just really wanted to do it, and it's a really beautiful place to hang out, this forested valley in West Wales, with really lovely people. And also I didn't really know what I was doing, and it was going to be the first wall, like whole wall, that I'd be lime plastering by myself, so I really wouldn't want to charge for it because it was a bit of trial and error. It's a very wonky, wobbly wall, so it was a lot of fun working with the shape of the wall. And it was also February, so I ended up being there for about 2.5 weeks because of drying times in cold, damp Wales that time of year.
Yeah, I've only been to the UK in the summertime, but I can only imagine the humidity that would exist in the winter there to really prolong the drying process. But that sounds to me like that's the sign of a true artist. Someone that's so dedicated to the process and the project that they want to do the job, whether or not they're getting paid or not. And I don't think that there's anything worse than the clash of art and commerce. Because if folks want to do something, they're going to do it. The second there's a monetary value thrown at it, that's when things get really messy. So good for you for just pushing through and saying, we're going to create this art.
Yeah, and of course, I feel very grateful because I was in the privileged position to have had just enough money saved to be able to support myself to work unpaid for a few weeks, which I understand isn't accessible to everybody. But for those who want to do a similar thing, or who that option is accessible to, I think it's important to build a portfolio and to do the projects which are the most interesting or the most passion kind of vibed projects. Like sometimes it's necessary to do things for free. It's like there's plenty of much less exciting, much higher paid work that I could always be doing, but you know, life's for living, and life's for enjoying, and I want to do work that I love most of the time. So yeah, I think it's good to work for free occasionally, but I also, I'm beginning to get paid more since then, but most of my work this year paid work has come from flat plastering, and then most of the sculptural work has been done for very little money or for free at the moment.
Yeah. Well, free is good. It provides an opportunity to learn, and it helps you thrive in the future. Would you be interested in making me some free tea right now?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah, I can make you a cup of tea.
Okay, let's take a break.
As you're likely well aware, our podcast series and baby brand is in its infancy. We promote these stories because there's a definite need to spread information about the sacred art form of plaster. It's no secret that as our world turns at its rapid pace, we are slowly losing techniques and methods. The information in this broadcast is an attempt at the preservation and conservation of sacred techniques and sage wisdom from the industry's finest. We offer financial compensation for all of our guests and are seeking advertising funds for operational costs. Do you have a product or service that's in line with our content? Do you want to advertise it to a wider audience? Give us a shout on our socials and we'll let you know how to get on board. And not to worry, we won't bother you with lots of show-stopping advertisements. We are so thrilled to share stories of designer disasters, contractor conundrums, employee excellence, or anything else that weaves its work through our plaster world. Do you have a plaster-related topic you'd like us to discuss? Or a guest you're dying to learn from? Send us a DM on Instagram @New Age Artisans or an email to hello@newageartisans.com. We can't wait to hear from you. Now back to the show.
Okay, we're back. We boiled a little bit of water, and we have an expert here, not only in plaster, but tea making. So I thought it would be great to make a cup of tea with the mistress.
So, I wouldn't call myself an expert at tea making, but I would say because I'm British and you're American, then I'm probably a bit more experienced than you. So I'll take that. I can take the lead on this. And if you guys want to follow along at home, then pause this for a sec, boil the kettle, and then when it goes and whistles, if you've got a whistling kettle, then hit play.
That's how you know it's ready, when it whistles?
Yeah.
Okay, we've got that in common.
Yeah.
Okay.
You understand that?
I
as
understand
well?
that,
Yeah?
yes.
Yeah. Well, actually, Kelsey the other day went to boil the kettle, and she poured the water before it whistled, and I was really offended. You want to make sure the water is hot enough. Step
Perfect.
1. Make sure the water is boiled.
Don't do that again, Kelsey.
Sorry, Kelsey, we love you. So, put your tea bags in the mug.
Okay.
Pour the water onto the tea bag in the mug. Do you want to do the honors, Jeremy?
I can do that. Just for everyone listening, we have very nice podcast equipment and boiling hot water. But here we go.
What could go wrong?
What could go wrong besides...
Stop there. You want to save enough space for the milk.
Okay.
Which will be added at a later date.
A later date? Well, later date is...
Not a later date, in a few minutes.
Okay, got it.
So...
Okay. Is this what we call steeping?
Brewing.
Brewing.
I would let it brew,
Okay.
i.e. leave the tea bag in the hot water for a few minutes.
Okay.
I mean, I'd go for about 3. I don't like it too strong, but like I've seen some builders on site leave it for like 5 to 10. If you're from the north of England, you might leave it for quite a while. They tend to like strong tea up there.
And they like their breaks.
And they like their breaks. Yeah. It, like a thing that I've noticed on building sites in the UK versus, can I go into this?
Please do. Yeah.
Versus building sites in the US is that in the UK, when it's tea time, everything stops, tools down, often music off, kettles start boiling. It's tea time. Everyone sits down, has their tea break, maybe goes to the van, like reads a bit of their book or whatever, and they have a break. In the US, this is not a thing.
The US, especially here, we're going 1,000 miles an hour. Get it done. And that is the one glaring thing I noticed. There's a much slower pace of life. There's respect given to the pause. And I remember working with Phil in the UK, and he literally had to make me stop. He said, put the tools down. Stop. We're having a break. And the break will involve you actually sitting down, which is kind of a challenge for me.
Phil actually brings chairs in his van, like proper wooden chairs specifically for having tea break.
Yeah, and we did it. I sat down. I took a break.
And how did it feel?
Oh, it was a challenge. It was a challenge. I'm like a little bit of a kind of hamster running on a wheel sometimes, but I did it. And the best part about it was I got to hear Phil talk, as he does. We had nice conversations. So happy to do it anytime.
Yeah, I'd say it helps. It helps the team bond, helps everyone catch up with each other, what's going on, gives your body a little bit of a rest. You don't want to have a break for too long, but about 15 minutes is rather nice in the morning. And then also lunch break, you know. Usually you have lunch in the UK. Well, I'd have lunch. And then there's a bit of time afterwards to boil the kettle, have another tea and sit down and actually digest. I found that in the US it's like when you feel like it or when you really need to eat, stop, have a few bites of a sandwich, and then keep going. There's no time to digest, or it's like go, and it's quite exciting, and we get a lot done, which is satisfying. But I do miss tea breaks.
Well,
I have been bringing a flask with me though. I must admit, after day one, I was like, Jeremy, I need to borrow a flask for the duration of my visit, please.
I was happy to loan because we got tea out of it. But you're on a little bit of a kind of an extended break right now from your work in the UK, and you're impressing upon the tea to us here, which is fantastic. But it's a little bit of a metaphorical break for you right now. Pilgrimage is what we've kind of been calling it. You're hitting some key plaster locations around the US. Tell us a little bit about your trip. When did you leave the UK? Where did it start? And where are you going to end?
Great. Before we go into that, let's finish making our cup of tea.
Yeah. Yep, sorry.
So,
look at me. Go.
It's been brewing for a good few minutes now. I'd get a teaspoon. I'd give the bag a little squeeze.
Okay.
Get that bag going.
Okay.
So,
put
the spoon in.
Okay.
Give the bag a little squeeze against the side of the mug.
Oh, okay. Definitely not with my hands because A, that's gross, and B, it's hot. Okay.
Yeah. And then get that out.
Okay.
Boom.
Squeeze, tap,
Yeah.
boom, okay.
And then I like to have oat milk, which is very controversial. That's not common on building sites in the UK to have oat milk. Yeah. Sometimes I hide it because people might laugh at me. Yeah. I like oat milk.
Okay. Well, I tell you what, my wife likes oat milk, and I know that you have to shake the oat milk.
I would give the oat milk a good shake. There we go.
Shake it like a Polaroid picture. Okay, here we go.
And then I'd put the desired amount of milk into the tea.
Okay, here we go. Hey,
I like it quite milky.
You see what I'm doing here with this song? It's a little band called Outkast. Just saying, welcome to America. Oh, frothy. Okay.
Oh, yeah, nice. There we go. Can I have a bit more milk, actually?
Oh, yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Okay, here we go.
Lovely, thank
Okay,
you.
now we're partying, people.
Give that a little stir. That's a nice welcome sound. It's actually, what is that spoon made of? It makes a nice like tinkle if you use a metal teaspoon. Then you get a nice like ding 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 as you stir the spoon.
Okay,
But
well, we call tinkle something else here. But anyways.
I've had a lot of that over the last couple of weeks.
Yes.
Anyway, cheers.
Cheers, big ears. Here we go.
Delish, what do you think? Would you have rather left the tea bag in while you put the milk in like a heathen?
Only because I think Phil's listening, no. I would not. But if I was in a rush like an American, yeah, I wouldn't take it out. I'd just fire that thing back and go for it. And
would you let it brew, or would you just like put it all in straight away?
I'd probably let it brew because I could multitask and get more done while it was brewing. And then I'd pick it up and drink.
Okay, good.
Back to the pilgrimage.
Back
while
to
we
the
sip.
pilgrimage. So, I left the UK at the start of October, which was about 5 weeks ago now. And I flew to LA because it was the cheapest option. And then I flew straight to Tucson, Arizona. Not to be called Tucson, as I was embarrassingly calling it for the first few days there until my Airbnb host kindly informed me that is not how you say it. It's Tucson. And
what did I say? Edinburgh?
Oh, yeah, Edinburgh.
Hey, Edinburgh, America.
No, it's Edinburgh.
Edinburgh.
Like, sup, bruh?
Yeah.
Edinburgh.
Yeah. Tucson.
Yeah. Lovely. I went to Tucson, hung out for a few days, got over the jet lag. And I was in Tucson because I was heading to the Canelo Project in Arizona, which is the home and place of the Steen family, Bill and Athena Steen, and their 3 sons, Oso, Panther, and Benito.
That sounds like amazing names for 3 sons. I don't know a whole lot about the Canelo Project other than it has become the Mecca, the well-deserved Mecca for natural plasterers. I remember seeing a documentary that Patagonia put on about them. And anything that Patagonia does, I think, is amazing. And then you threw those real-life characters into their short film, and I was instantly in love with the whole situation. So I, at one point in time, plan to go to the Canelo Project because I don't feel like I'm a real plasterer unless I've done it.
I had wanted to go there for a long time since I discovered the kind of my gateway drug into plastering, which was the natural building world. When I was in Costa Rica, I was watching the Nito Project's YouTube videos. Have you watched any of those?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, if you're listening, you haven't watched the Nito Project, then do it, because the guys have some amazing videos out there. And I was like, one day I will go to this place. And that day was last month. I finally got to go. And Athena was leading a sculpting and clay workshop that she was co-leading with a woman called Becky Kravitz, who is a mask maker and sculptor. It was really my 2 loves together. It was clay plaster and sculpture all in one course, and it was 5 days long, and it was amazing. It was mind-blowing. I learned a lot of things there, and I am actually going back at the end of my trip.
Bookending the trip with the Canelo Project.
Oh yeah.
What did you do after the Canelo Project?
I flew to Denver and went to Boulder, Colorado for the Natural Building Alliance's conference called the Rocky Mountain Natural Building Conference, where I did a line relief sculpture demonstration and attended the conference and hung out and met lots of lovely people.
How many people were there at that conference? I remember seeing some stuff about it online.
Yeah, about 150 people,
Wow.
Which was great. Yeah, good turnout.
From all around the world, or just mostly focused from the US?
Mostly from the US. I think there was like 2 other Europeans there, and a few people from other places, but mainly US focused. But it was a really good place to meet other people and to chat about what I do and what they do, and I received quite a few invites to other places whilst I was there, and yeah, it was a really, really fruitful, exciting experience, and a lot of people I met there were very excited that I'd been to Canelo and very excited about my trip and my itinerary, so it was nice. Yeah.
And then after Denver, you came up here to Bozeman.
Yeah, and here I am.
And here you are. We've been enjoying having you on site. It's been fun. It's been kind of showing you, doing some trainings with you, showing you how we do it here. And what's been kind of the biggest difference about working here? What's one thing you notice that, or some things we have here that you don't necessarily have in the UK?
Oh, well, for starters, I like these tiny hawks that we've been using.
Yeah.
The mini hawks. The Comey, is it Comey trowels? These trapezoid trowels?
Yes.
Yeah.
Imported from Italy by way of British Columbia from our good friend Mr. Daryl Morrison. And if anybody wants one of those trowels, we can get you directly in contact with Mr. Daryl at Cadora Plaster.
Oh, maybe I'll be getting in touch. Yeah. I was a bit like, oh, what's this, for the first day or so, and now I'm into it, and I want one. Also, the hand masker, this amazing little machine that helps. It masks. It has paper in it. It has tape in it, and it masks and tapes at the same time. And I haven't seen those before. Apparently, we actually get them in the UK. Someone sent me a comment on Instagram today and sent me a link, which I am psyched about. I am going to get one.
Yeah, they're amazing. I can't really imagine existing without one in the world. I would almost bring it anywhere with me, and I could probably get myself out of a bind with a sheer hand masker. They're fantastic.
I like so many little useful things like that I've been picking up, like how your team masks things, like different layers of tape, like, oh, we layer this tape first and then we put this tape on so that after each layer we can just change this tape and we don't have to change all the masking, and clever little hacks like that, and ways of taking the material off the hawk and getting it onto the wall. You taught me a really cool way to hold the trowel the other day.
Oh yeah, the Spidey grip. Yeah.
Spidey grip, to get into that spot. I kept, when I was working on the top of the wall that joins to the ceiling, along that line, I kept leaving knuckle marks on the ceiling, which was
nasty knuckles. Don't do
not
that.
okay.
Especially with the color change, people. Don't do that.
Yeah, and we were doing Tadillac, so the ceiling was not Tadillac, and the walls were. So, Jeremy taught me the magic Spidey grip to not get my knuckle marks everywhere, and I've been using that a lot.
You've been using it a lot? Yeah, there was that one little mistake that you made, and then you didn't do that mistake again. You moved on to bigger, better mistakes.
So you think I've been doing all right? I think part of the reason why I've wanted to come and like learn from the New Age Artisans crew as well was because since I haven't done any formal plastering training really. I have actually done 2 lime courses with a company called Carrington Lime, who I really, really recommend in the UK, and they were just 2 little 2-day short courses, but I haven't worked with a big team before, and I haven't done any plastering with real plasterers since I learned. So I've kind of been like, am I okay? Am I fast? Am I slow? Am I clean? Am I I wanted to kind of take myself for a test drive and be like, how am I?
Yeah, let's compare apples to apples, shall we? That's always the best way to do it, you know? And it's interesting. People can be at home, and it's unique to see a person go from 0 to 1. Everybody can do it at home. But if you want to produce something at scale and go from 1 to 100 or 1 to 1,000, how do you start knocking out those square feet or those square meters? And that's the hardest part. How do you move day in and day out and produce quality work at scale with the crew, moving forward in a conscious, cohesive motion? That's what we try and do. I always tell everybody we're kind of creating a symphony of sorts. Every single person is playing a different instrument, has a unique part on the stage. However, we're creating music with our plaster.
Oh, it's beautiful. I wish you could see these guys in action, because it is some sweet stuff. It feels good. Good to be running ceilings together.
Well, we've certainly enjoyed having you. We're all going to miss you with your funny English accent and the laughter that just does not stop when you're around.
I don't know what you're talking about. It's been very serious.
Your trip's 2/3 complete. Where are you off to next after you leave us on the sad day of, I think, Wednesday?
Well, sad day of Wednesday. Sad because I'll be leaving here. Happy because I'll be moving to Pastures New to go work with James Henderson in Washington. Continue my plaster pilgrimage, my research trip, and see how his team works, see what projects he's got on, and excited to go. Yeah.
How many folks does he have working for him?
I'm not sure right now. I think it ebbs and flows depending on the size of the project. So I couldn't answer that exactly.
Yeah.
How many do you have?
Someone asked me that just the other day. I think we have 13 employees that work for us. So it's a decent amount of juggling to do with people and personalities and jobs.
I don't know how you do it and remain so chilled and lovely.
Deep breaths.
Lovely.
Deep breaths.
And you always have time for everyone. It's inspiring. Like, really, thanks.
Oh, thanks.
Thank you. Well
Appreciate
done.
That. Yes, thank you. Thank you. I really strive to try and kind of keep it cool, calm, and collective, and for the most part I do. And I feel like if I'm going to blow up, everyone in the room knows it, and I just nicely ask everyone to leave before I blow up. And that way we don't have to, annihilate the entire civilization. Works better that way.
Nice.
And after James Henderson headed back to the Canelo, as I understand, for the bookending of the trip, with somebody who I have not personally met, yet I have a tremendous amount of respect for, Mr. Kyle Holdsworth, correct?
Kyle Holzhuter.
Holzhuter.
I think.
Kyle Holdsworth is a different person from a band that I know of. Kyle Holzhuter.
Holzhuter. I
Holzhuter.
think.
Okay.
I don't know.
Well, Kyle, we'll have to have you on the podcast someday. And you can accurately
tell us how to
pronounce
say
your name. I apologize.
I'm going to go and do a Japanese plastering course, a deep dive into, all things Japanese plastering with him. We're going to be doing some clay plaster, some shikui, I think it's pronounced, and end my trip at the Canelo. I really don't want it to end. I could just stay forever. I like it here, but also I like the old buildings we have in the UK, so I'm excited to get back to see those again. It's a completely different architecture where you're from, and it's here everything's new. It's fun and exciting to see how the job sites work, but you go there and you have to establish yourself into conservation and really realize how to save a building that's hundreds or thousands of years old. It's a completely different paradigm that you're in. So your travels across the U.S. on your pilgrimage have gained you quite a following on social media, and your followers have a couple questions for you, as I understand. We were chatting about that today on site. Who are the folks and what are their questions? So we've got a question here from Becca Beebe, which is, do you constantly have sore, worn down fingertips? And
after today you do.
Well, sir, you might have noticed that I am always wearing gloves. I wear some nice, they're quite tight fitted, but they're waterproof work gloves. And I wear those every day, which I like. I don't like getting lime on my hands. I don't like getting dry hands. I like keeping my hands nice and soft and well cared for. I get home, I moisturize, I take good care of myself. So yeah, I'm quite a fan of the PPE. I wear gloves, I wear goggles, and yeah. So no, I don't, but I do have sore wrists and sore shoulders and sore neck.
That'll be with you forever as a plasterer.
Welcome to life as a plasterer,
Yes.
kids.
Welcome.
Yeah. Well,
what else
I do
you got?
practice lots of yoga still, so
Oh, that'll help.
yeah, definitely helps. I don't know how my shoulders would feel if I didn't. So yeah, remember to stretch, folks. I've also got a question here from Freya, who says, all right, so what piece/work have you done that you are most proud of? Where do you find inspiration? And how do you find it being a woman in the construction world? So Freya, what piece of work I've done that I'm most proud of? I'd say it's a tricky one, but I think just because it was such a kind of feat of overcoming challenge and just such a wild idea. Definitely the giant head and hand sculpture that I did for Medicine Festival this year, which if you want to see pictures of it, if you go and have a little look on my Instagram, it's the giant head and hands, and a team of 10 of us made it in 6 days, and it is bloody massive. It's timber frame, it's got straw bales, chicken wire, and then like a heavy fibrous clay plaster mix that we mixed totally by hand and foot and whisk mixer. So yeah, it was a big undertaking. So I'm proud of that just because it was crazy and we didn't know whether it was possible when we started or until maybe like the day before we finished it. So yeah, where do you find inspiration? I find a lot of inspiration actually on Instagram from other plasterers that I follow and that I respect. There's so many.
Oh, wealth of inspo on the gram.
Yeah, and it's just amazing. Like, I feel like it's kind of uncool to say, but I'm super grateful for Instagram just for the links. Like the amount of people that I've met this year or in the last couple of years in person that I followed. We followed each other on Instagram and had chatted and been like, oh my God, I love your work, or like, oh, how do you do this, and asked for advice, and then now have been meeting in person, and it's just super exciting.
Well, it's fun when Instagram and reality
link
up. That's what I really like about it.
Yeah, exactly. And how do I find it being a woman in the building construction world?
Ooh, I love that question.
I love it too. I think that's a great question.
We have quite a few women that work with us here in the field as well, so it's fantastic.
I feel like I've seen a lot more women on building sites here in the US than I see in the UK. And like no one's said anything. Like in the UK, like there'll always be some sort of comment, usually a nice comment, but there'll be like someone will say something or like recognize it, but it seemed like quite a normal thing here.
Yeah, it's becoming more and more normal. I would say maybe 10 years ago there'd always be some idiot in the room that would make some sort of comment about it, but now it's nice to see that it's becoming more and more normal. Women, as far as I'm concerned, are incredibly more talented than men. They have much more patience, and there's not really a lot of drama that's involved on the site when you have a bunch of men and then you throw the occasional woman in there. Everything just all of a sudden seems to become much more relaxed.
Yeah, I love working in construction as a woman. Like, I think I enjoy hanging out with guys anyway, more than women most of the time. Just personally, that's just how I feel more comfortable generally. But yeah, I've found people to be really welcoming and really respectful 99% of the time. And the only one time that I had an issue with someone a particular person being really sexist was when I was on quite in inverted commas, like hippie kind of job with this person who yeah, I just wouldn't really have expected it to come from. And actually I found that the like lads, like proper builders have been super, super lovely and super respectful and super welcoming. And I also just love the jokes and the camaraderie of working on a building site. Like, it's really lovely environment to be in, and just really good fun, constant laughter, constant jokes. Like, every day's different.
To a degree, even for me, it doesn't necessarily matter what I'm doing as far as an occupation. It just matters who I'm doing it with. And some of the people that I work with are my best friends in the entire world, and we can go to work and get paid to laugh and laugh and laugh and just have a good time. Excellent question, Freya, I believe. We're going to be sending you a New Age Artisans apron in the mail for that question. So please hit us back with your address. And as we move forward on other podcasts, we'll be asking some other folks to interject some of their questions. So hopefully everybody knows there's some New Age Artisans merch on the line for these excellent questions. So ask away. I've enjoyed this thoroughly, having you here, as I'm sure our listeners have. And as we mentioned, Becky's trip is 2/3 over, and you can follow along as she heads west to see Mr. James Henderson and then onto the Canelo Project. You can take a peek at her Instagram handle at Rebecca_Gilling, Gilling with 2 L's. And you're going to want to click on the follow button because her work is absolutely fantastic. You won't be disappointed. Becky, it's been so fun having you on the show, and I can't wait to see where you go with your career next. Thank you, my friend, and Bozeman, we'll miss you. Thanks, everyone, for listening. Please join us next as we head northwest to beautiful British Columbia, Canada, for an in-depth chat with the aforementioned Daryl Morrison. From my perspective, no one has the hustle like Daryl. With the booming contracting business, a plaster distributing and import company, and a busy family life, Daryl still finds time to be generous and kind to every person he meets. Tune in as we chat slaked lime, liquid metal, and the necessity of education. Until next time, this is Jeremy Mistretta signing off. Cheers!